Yo, welcome back to Project Gaming. My name is Cal. Today we're doing another build. So this case is called the ZS-A4. It's been around for a while, it's since 2019. How do we know this? Because we had this case since back then. This is actually one of the first cases that we built in, but for whatever reasons, we had fitment issues, so we weren't able to complete it. But now after a couple of years, we're gonna try again. And this time we're gonna be using this graphic card here, which should help it make it a lot easier. But before we start doing all this, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, give us a like, and leave us a comment. And to help support the channel, please check out Project Gaming Sleeper Mouse. Every purchase that you make helps us and helps us continue making content like this. So let me walk you through the parts today. So we're using, as I mentioned earlier, the ZS-A4 case. This is the V2 version. They already have a V3. So this is actually a relic because they no longer sell it on Taobao. And for the graphic card, we're using the Gigabyte GeForce 4060. This is the low profile GPU. And since it's an ITX build, we're going with the Corsair SF750. And for the motherboard, this is an MSI B760i Edge Wi-Fi. So for the CPU, we're going with the Intel i5 12400F. And for RAM, we're going with XPG, 16 gigs, 2 sticks, so 32 in total. And then for the M.2, we're going again with XPG. This is 2 terabytes. And we're going with custom cables, just because this is a very small case, a sandwich style case. And we have the riser cable, PCI 4.0. All right, so here we have the motherboard, and open it up. Couple of USB ports, HDMI, DisplayPort, Type-C, some more USB ports, LAN, and then Wi-Fi 6E, and audio in, audio out. So we're going to install the M.2. So pull this out. Well, that was a struggle to put on the ribbon cable. Had to do a few times, so got the orientation wrong. Had to loop it through here underneath this. So now that we got that, we're going to be using this 4060 low profile GPU. Open it up. Alright, so we're going to have to put the back plate back on so that the GPU has something to attach onto. All right, so we have put everything together, installed everything. There's not too much to do because there's not any case fans. Basically, you plug in the front two IOs pieces, and then the power cables are all in. So if you're using custom cables, it's quite simple and it all fits perfectly. But if you're using the cables that come with the SF750, then you're gonna have a lot more issues of fitment. But it still works, it's just more challenging. And so right now, in order to get this into this case right here, you gotta remove these two front pieces that we had on earlier for support, and then you have to slide it in. Again, some things to be cautioned, there is a right way and a wrong way. So you gotta make sure these two are sliding into this channel right here. So this is the back, and then this is the front. So I just tried test fitting it. I think it'll be a little bit easier if we kind of remove these. So this piece will be easier to slide through. All right, so this is our fourth time. So what I've done now is I slid some of this cable underneath the power. And then on the bottom, I tightened it up with a few more tie downs. So hopefully it works. Something you have to watch out is you don't want this ribbon cable to get caught up here, because one of the times I did it, it kind of pulled this ribbon cable out. So tolerances is pretty tight. So it's honestly the hardest part so far is trying to get this into here. All right, so this is the fourth attempt. Let's see if it works. So we finally got it in. It was an absolute struggle. Like the tolerances are very minimal, and you always have to watch out for the cables not getting scraped up against this. So some final thoughts. First off, the quality of this case is top notch. Everything feels premium and is premium and sturdy because essentially it is all CNC. Because it is a one-piece shroud, it looks very seamless. We have built into a few ITX cases before, and nothing comes close to the fit and finish of this case. It's a hell of a case, but the seller on Taobao no longer sells the V2 version, which is the one that we have right here. They only sell the V3, which is larger, in order to fit the current generations of GPUs. Some things to be aware of when building into this case. It's a tight fit because of the sleeve case design, and the most difficult part was sliding the sleeve onto the sandwich layout. There's not much wiggle room, and you have to be very careful that parts don't get caught on the holes, because the hole edges here, as you can see, are somewhat sharp. You have to pay extra attention to the riser cable because it sits right up against this cheese grater. Definitely recommend getting custom cables to give yourself more space because of the tight tolerances. You have to make sure you're using the correct screws in the correct location. Sometimes you have to tighten certain screws in a particular sequence in order for the front and the back panel to align correctly. Just have patience, guys. You can fit larger 3 fans GPUs, but that makes it even more difficult to slide the outer shell on. If you're a beginner in the ITX space, you're better off going with an ITX case that allows you to open up all the panels. If it's not your first rodeo, this could be a strong consideration for a 7.5 liter case. The temperatures are manageable in this current configuration that we have. We never came close to hitting the GPU or CPU max temps on default settings, so no overclocking or underclocking. It can't compete with larger cases when it comes to temperature. So this case actually comes in 2 colors. There's black, the one that we have here, and then there's silver. If you have the black case, the coating does scuff up a bit. You can kind of rub it out, but it's just something to be aware of. So the case actually comes with 2 different I/O backplates to accommodate different configurations depending on how much space you need for the GPU and CPU. Since we bought this case over 4 years ago, we're not sure if you had to pick upon checking out or it comes with both versions. We had to run the sandwich layout on the second track in order to fit the Thermalright CPU cooler, but the backplate that we have on hand is for track 1. So that's why in our build there's some gaps, as you can see right here, and we had to use 1 less screw in order to make it work. It doesn't affect performance, but if you have OCD, it can be annoying. Overall, I would recommend this case if the parts you want fits in this case. It's super minimalistic and it looks very upscale. So the other highlight of this case was using the new GPU, the super low profile, and I think for smaller cases it's definitely the go-to GPU just because it gives you a lot of room, and it's still free 3 fans, and yeah, I think we had a lot of fun building into it. So thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one, but please do subscribe, like, give us a comment, and we'll see you guys in the next one.